Background Minister of the World Premiere, Mr. Motley coming at you live and direct. Question has been asked, are we reliving 1963? And a lot of people might say, Motley, here you go with the craziness again, but are we reliving 1963? Let's look at some things. Let's really look at some things, and I want you guys to kind of get more of a sense of an idea how the elite and the order out of chaos community play, because we know that things go in cycles and they like to bring back things in cycles. They like to do these rituals, kind of commemorate times in history, and then they bring those times back, and it's scary when they do them. So remember, in 1963 we had two main events in America. We had bombings and we had the assassination of a president in 1963. The third thing we had was the Loyola Ramblers of Chicago, Illinois beat Mississippi State University and won their first NCAA title. So the question is, are we reliving 1963? Right now, we really don't know yet, but hey, we're on the path. We got Loyola now in the Final Four, getting closer to the all-Jesuit championship game between Loyola and Villanova. In 1963, like I said, Loyola won the title. In that same year, we had the 16th Street Baptist Church bombings. You just had bombings in Texas, the place and scene of the Final Four in the national championship game, which is going to be in Texas. So we got these bombings already. So that's part one of the ritual, kind of looking back at the bombings that we had in September 1963. Then you turn around down the road a little bit farther, and you have the assassination of JFK. Now, I want you to look at certain things that are playing out in the Trump presidency that might be matching things in the JFK presidency. And let's talk about the cheating now, because now that's the aspect they're throwing. They're throwing in Stormy Daniels and the cheating. So don't be surprised if certain people come up dead in this sickness, because this is the type of game these people like to play. They play really sick, sadistic games. Remember, JFK was accused of having affairs with multiple women, one being Marilyn Monroe, that was pretty much front row out there for everybody, including his wife, to see. Remember now, Miss Onassis knew a lot about JFK's marital affairs. That's why, it was always just rumored that she, really didn't have much feelings after they took him out because of all these marital affairs. So we got the same situation with Miss Trump not really caring about Don due to all these marital affairs. And if this kind of plays out the sick way that they might be trying to write it playing out, bad days could be ahead for Don. But kind of this rehashing of events that happened in 1963, the bombings, and Loyola winning that championship are the two signs that this year might not end on a high note and might be leading into really some very twisted stuff with the Order Out of Chaos Committee. So just put your backs against the wall. Just be mindful of everything that's going on around you, who you talk to. Don't be very trusting. We got all this foolishness with Facebook. For some reason, they want people off of Facebook, and this is Zuckerberg's play. For some reason, Zuckerberg wants to get rid of Facebook. I don't think he wants to rock it. I think they got some bigger plans for Zuckerberg. So I really haven't been bothering Facebook that much. I really go in and check some stuff, and I can get off. But really watch out for this Facebook push of trying to get people off of Facebook. There's a lot of other things of people trying to push people out of Android phones and on the iOS system using Zuckerberg to do it. So a lot of stuff going on shade with Facebook as well. But I think we're in some really bumpy times coming up. Let's just watch what's happening. This national championship is a big sign of what's to take place. If Loyola wins his national championship, we've got a couple of the signs that have already been there with the bombings. Let's see how this Stormy Daniels situation plays out and how the Order Out of Chaos Committee want this thing to play out. Remember, these are very evil, very demonic people. And then when they have an agenda wrapped, it usually involves us. We just had the gun march where, I'm not a fan of people having guns, walking down the street like they're in the Wild West like they do in some states, Virginia being one of them. But I am a fan of people being able to protect themselves. People must be able to protect themselves. It's not fair that you can't protect your household. So I'm a very pro protect yourself. I'm not down with the I need a Uzi to protect myself routine, but I'm not down with it just coming in straight seizing people's weapons, which the government really is trying to kind of get people beefed up to do. But they really need an event that's going to make that happen. Could we get that event this year? We got the kids marching. Got the crisis actors on stage, the Hoes and the Gonzalez, whoever the little girl is. The crisis ain't nothing but actors. You probably can find them somewhere on YouTube. If you look hard enough, you'll find Emma Gonzalez posting somewhere on YouTube as another character. This is what these people do. So really watch for kind of the way the narratives are twisting, the gun narrative coming back up, and the threat of we'll vote you out now coming into play, and the threat of the last days of Trump coming in. Now, Pence has not been seen doing any of this. So let's really watch how Pence pops back up inside of this narrative. Mr. Markey, peace and hair grease.